JBS was still about 5 workers ahead, which is really good for him. Taking the engagement, these soldiers are closing in quite close, and this tree here is going to allow them to get a bit more damage, and some of the riflemen really low health, but JBS is going to be able to trade really well here, pulling them past the tower, bringing them into the fort range. But JBS didn't really trade that well. Not having many soldiers means he's constantly forced to retreat, which is not what he wants. And he's still not choosing to really bring many soldiers into the fight here. He's got one now, which means he can choose to stay around for a bit longer. But already that drops quite quickly. He's going to trade quite well in terms of actually taking anything down. But he really wants more soldiers in this composition, or at least something. Pure Rifleman is not a great composition without sort of any ability to force the opponent back. With no catapults, no mages, and no soldiers, JBS is kind of pushed back every time these soldiers come in to engage, which is keeping him on his side of the map, and he's not seeing what's coming. JBS is throwing down another barracks here, and another tower somewhere. I'm not sure. So he's gonna. JBS actually throwing down a tower. Interesting choice of placement, but does force the whole army back. And does allow him to move out a little bit. JBS also keeping an eye on Zone 4. VoLt actually just making sure his run bys are being blocked here. He's actually got a good composition, but this is +1/+2, and Jibs is about to go up to +4. So that's actually going to really hurt when trying to engage these riflemen. And there we go, you can see JBS is actually now producing more soldiers. You've got 4 soldiers on the way now, which is going to round up this composition a bit nicer. And Mage Tech coming in the background for JBS. This is a lot of soldiers though from VoLt. So once this Mage Tech comes out, they're going to get punished really hard if they don't split. Both players sort of posturing in the middle of the map here, just trying to get some map control and work out what their opponent's attempting to do. Countering the follow-up transition is going to be really important here. Second forward here from VoLt, so he's going to try and catch up on upgrades a little bit, but it's going to be quite difficult to do with the amount of gold he's already trying to spend elsewhere. JBS taking a 4th base down here on the bottom side. And with the fact that you can hover around this mid of the map, it's going to be quite hard for VoLt to even know it's there and to be able to deny it in time. JBS actually banking up a lot of gold, which isn't great. He could use this to actually convert into units and do some damage. Going to get engagement in center here. JBS actually backing off. He's got +3 versus +1/+2, so roughly even, to be honest, in terms of what actual upgrades do. But I think he's just trying to bring them into the fire of these towers here. VoLt doesn't really want to engage on his opponent's home turf. JBS has finally started his 4th base. Just going to give him an advantage so he can keep waiting that out. Going to get a soldier picked off in the background here. I'd like to see VoLt actually split and properly engage with this slightly heavier soldier force. You're going to want proper surface area to engage Jibs here. And Jibs actually managed to sneak another unit into the back here, just distracting VoLt, trying to do a little bit of damage. VoLt bringing up a Mage's Guild in the background as well here. So both players slowly taking up. VoLt taking his 4th base now. I'm pretty sure that's closer for the red player. It's a possible map imbalance then. Yes, okay. Maybe that's a little bit too close on that side. That's something that's going to have to be looked into maybe. So JBS actually now with mages. I don't know if he has fireballs on the way, so they're not great just yet. But this is going to be about 6 mages, so as soon as fireball's done, that's going to be really hard to engage against, especially with all these sort of lighter health units as opposed to catapults or dragons. Mage Guild almost finished up in the background there for VoLt, but it's going to take a long time for him to actually get similar sized, similar levels of upgrades. and both players are choosing to take on the background slowly. VoLt throws down tower to defend his 4th base. And JBS actually choosing to throw down 2 to defend his base down here. VoLt's splitting out, preparing to just sort of take an engagement here. I'm just going to poke forward and try and see where his opponent is. Fireball's nearly done for Jibs, so this would be a good time to attack, but obviously there's a massive split here. Probably an oversplit actually, to be honest, from VoLt, as he tries to deal with these extra units. Will mean that fireballs won't do a huge amount, but as these close in, that's 7, 8 mages there. That's going to do a lot of damage. Javis and Mage are stuck in the back here a bit, but managed to hit the rifleman. Huge chunk of VoLt's armies off the right hand side as he attempts to go for a counter-attack. But they're going to be massive out of position, and VoLt can't engage until he gets his army together. And they're going to be off time. He's got to engage together, otherwise these mages are just going to tear this army apart. JBS is just going to keep tearing down production facilities here at VoLt's 3rd base. And there's not much VoLt can do here, he's in a lot of trouble. He's got more soldiers, but unless he can actually get them into the fight, he's got them all spread out here, which is not good. JBS can just afford to camp around and just harass and do a lot of damage here, which is going to put him in the lead unless VoLt can do something about it. But VoLt's down in tech and he's down in upgrades now, +4, +2. He tries to rally up and get a repair on this castle, which is going to be really good. Oh, he was able to repair it for a brief moment there because there's not a whole of JBS's army engaging. These fireballs are going to murder Wolf ridiculously fast, and JBS taking charge now. The 4th base goes down. There's another 4th base over on the top hand side here, which is going to be able to support his income later. But JBS is just going for the throw. He throws down his own 5th base, and he's just going from. This is going to be really bad though. If these mages get in on top, this is really not what JBS wants. If these mages get on top, there's a fireball right in the middle. Oh, but JBS gets to it first, and fireballs pretty much all of his opponent's mages. A whole bunch of mage fire exchanged here, but JBS splits quite well, and VoLt's mages die really quickly. Not quite enough. A lot of high energy mages here in the background. JBS rallying in from his own base. And this is going to be a huge amount of damage done here. Heal shots go down the soldiers. And JBS is going to do a huge amount of worker production, you can see. Although, actually, both players neglecting their worker production a little bit here, you can see pretty even still despite all the damage that Jibs did. And Jibs is going to get forced back here for the moment. You can see with 3 soldier, 3 mage production in the background here. Both players are actually going to remax at about the same rate, so this is actually going to go on for a bit longer. VoLt did get some mine time denied, did lose some workers. And as both players mine out various sections of their base, they are going to have to transfer. Both mining out main and natural now, at about the same time. JBS have been supplied by a little bit, but it's just going to be similar production for both of them here. JBS is choosing to use all of his energy up just on heal spells to bring his army up to full strength. Right, JBS now choosing to split up his army to either side. It's going to try and maybe do counter-attack and actually do even more damage. VoLt's army is actually all over on this right-hand side, so JBS will be able to move in, move back, and he won't have time to deny this harassment on the top base. It'd be interesting to see actually if either player didn't choose. Oh, random fireball there from VoLt. Not sure what that was about. Be interesting to see if either player chooses to tech up a bit to dragons anytime soon. JBS now harassing these houses on the right hand side and going in with soldiers up into the top hand side. This tower though is going to deny a lot of these soldiers, but they will be able to take it down unless the workers get involved. JBS is actually doing even more damage on the right hand side. This isn't going to supply block his opponent, but it's going to be very annoying, and hopefully he's going to force a response out of his opponent. He's going to boost further down this tower really quickly though with +4 rifle and mage, and his opponent is coming in to engage here, but this is very piecemeal. All of his army is in little pieces, which is not what he wants. He's going to deny this harassment on the top base though. And JBS is actually choosing to throw down catapults in the background to allow him to more effectively harass these bases, do a bit more damage to castles and to towers. Now this is going to be a really bad place to engage for either player. The fireballs and that choke can do a huge amount of damage, as you can see why JBS is backing off. JBS actually managing to force extra fireballs out of his opponent, which is really what you want at this stage. Mages make such a massive difference with their high damage spells that anytime you can just trade a little bit of your army for some spells and not take spells to entire army is going to be really good for him. He's actually going to lose quite a few units here though. You don't lose quite that many. And similar supplies still for both players. JBS actually letting to go around the top and try and deny this base again. But VoLt's going to come in full force down this bottom base. Lots of fireballs landing on these soldiers. That's going to do a lot of damage, but he's going to be able to pressure this fourth base of his opponent. And JBS actually now does manage to take out another mage, which is nice, nearly full energy. Or about half energy actually with that fireball. And it's going to try and deny this base again. And you can see actually he's choosing to swap into a lot of soldiers because most of those have died in the front of the engagement. There's a bit of damage to workers in the front now. This is not a great position for... Oh, that's a huge fireball in the middle of the force there. Trading another one there with VoLt. Both players taking quite a lot of damage there. VoLt whiffing a few... Oh, that's a lovely one right in the middle of the mages again. Another 3 mages drop at the back of that line there. This is a really mage heavy force now for VoLt. Still even worker count for both players, roughly 3 bases worth of workers. And this engagement is probably actually going to go really well for VoLt here. He's about 2 upgrades behind, which he's working on. That amount of fireballs is going to do a massive amount of damage. How many mages does he have? 14 mages there is going to do a ridiculous amount of damage to his opponent. They're going to struggle a little bit though against these heavily upgraded soldiers who are now actually going up to this top base, and they're going to get 2 mages for free there probably. What's going to be able to, probably going to lose this major. You can see huge split there, really nice concave. He'll just be able to step in and fireball this force and do so much damage. He's not got much of an answer though to these soldiers moving up to the top side. And they're going to get in, they're probably going to take down some damage to towers once they're properly microed. JB is sort of posturing, but he knows his opponent's probably out there.
You're going to it?
I'm in the middle of the tournament. Sorry. And it's going to be forced back here. And VoLt just holding... JBS actually managed to do a huge amount of damage at the top side here with his heavily upgraded soldiers. This is going to manage to force not only workers away, but actually units up to deal with it. And there we go, here comes the main engagement. Fireball's dropping in for VoLt, but heal spells going down for JBS, and these soldiers are going to get some damage on the mages. JBS is being forced back. He's going to get to pick off probably another mage here, possibly another. And oh, VoLt actually managing to fireball his own units there, which is not really what you want. And you can see nearly 10 mages died in that engagement, which is really not what you want there for VoLt. He had such a mage heavy force, and to lose so many is such a whiffed spell there from VoLt, and his mage will die because of it. You can see JBS now actually up 30 supply, did manage to actually take out this base on the top hand side. It's going to be.
Should we bring your tea through?
Oh yeah, thank you.